Alrighty, so this is your review for pre-P Algebra 2. The first problem, you're going to get something like that. Negative 18 plus minus square root of negative 36 over 18. So what would be the first thing you need to do to reduce this or simplify it?
Square root of negative 36 in the calculator.
So can you take the square root of negative 36? No, but can you take the square root of 36?
Yes.
Which is?
18.
Excuse me?
6.
6. Because we had a negative inside, what do we need to do?
I.
We need to add an I, but then it says to divide everything by 18. So this is the same thing as having negative 18 over 18 plus minus 6i over 18. So it kind of splits into two.
That's my answer?
Nope. What is negative 18 divided by 18?
Negative 1.
Negative 1 plus minus 6 over 18. Does it reduce?
Yes.
To what?
3 over 9.
So that still reduces. 6 goes into 6 one time. 6 goes into 18. How many?
3.
3 times.
1/3.
And then don't forget to put the I. So that's you reducing it. That would be your answer right there. Pretty simple?
Pretty simple.
Next problem. What happens from y equals x squared to make it y equals 1/2 x plus 3 squared minus 2? And it gives you 3 different scenarios. Back at the beginning of the school year, we did transformations, whether it got wider, it got more narrow, did it move right, did it move left, was there a reflection, did it move up or down? Do you remember all that? Yes, no, maybe so?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you a chance to write it down. Do you want to just do the first one and to make sure you're leaving enough space?
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at the first one, a 1/2. Is that 1/2 going to make the graph wider or more narrow?
More narrow.
If you're not sure, how about you plug in y equals x squared into your calculator and then plug in the one that's given to you, please. The 1/2 is actually going to make the graph what?
Wider.
So we're going to put, got wider. What did that plus 3 inside of the parentheses do? Does it move it left or right?
Left.
Left, how many units? What number's in there?
2.
I inside the parentheses. Left 3 units. Remember, on the inside, it does the opposite. If you have a plus, it moves left. If it has a minus, it moves right. But that minus 2 tells me it moves which way?
Right. Left.
Up or down?
Down.
Down.
Because of the minus.
Because it has a minus. Down 2 units. All right. So when the number in front of the x squared of the parentheses is smaller than 1, it gets wider. So when we look at the second example there, if it has a 3, what do you think it's going to get?
Smaller.
Which we use the word narrower or more narrow because you guys keep saying that's not a word, but I don't know why these math book people use it.
Narrower is a word.
It is?
Pretty sure.
Okay. Now, that negative 5, where does it move it?
Right 5.
Right 5 units.
And down 6. I mean up 6.
And because it's a positive, we go up 6 units. So then the last one. We have a 7, but what's still in front of that 7? A negative. That negative makes it what?
Wider?
It doesn't open down.
It opens down, so there's a reflection. There's a reflection. It opens down, just so we know.
So the negative makes the reflection?
Yep, because of this little negative up in the front. Now that 7's going to make it do what? Get what?
Narrow.
More narrow.
Why
That-
more narrow?
Because the 7 is bigger than 1. Anytime the number is bigger than 1, that's what happens. We're not considering the negative. All the negative does is make it reflect. So you're just looking at the number itself. Now that negative 1 makes it go which way?
Right.
Right 1 unit. And then that negative 8 makes it go down 8 units. So that's a review from something we did at the very. Copy this problem. This problem is more or less what you're going to get on the day of your test. It's an equation, and they're giving you answer choices. Now, your test is going to consist of 35 questions. 30 are multiple choice, 5 are open-ended. So today we're just going over 8 really quickly. Yep. The first thing we need to do here is solve it for y. So all we have to do is move who away? The y. So this becomes y equals 3x squared minus 30x plus 82. Now, none of those equations look like that, obviously, but you could put that into your y equals. So this is the graph that you're trying to get. And then you're going to plug in your a. You graph both of them. You look at them. Is it the same line? If it is, boom, there's your answer. If it's not, you need to try NB. Now, if you don't have a calculator, then you need to try this when you have a calculator in front of you.
Are they going to give us one or we just provide our own?
You will get a calculator that you test.
Are we taking it here?
Yeah.
It's just like in how long?
You have an hour and a half to finish 35 questions.
Okay, so the classes we're taking the exams in are going to be an hour.
Hour and a half. The other ones are going to be cut to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we plug in A, check it, because has somebody already plugged it in? No? Yes? You should have plugged in A. Is it the same graph?
No.
Nope. B? No. And you guys are saying it's C, right?
Yes.
Now, which is another way that you could check your work? If you didn't have a calculator, the way you would have to do this, but it's a lot of work, is first I would do FOIL with x minus 5. When you do that, you get x squared minus 10x plus 25. But what's in front of the parentheses over here?
3.
A 3. So we have 3x squared minus 30x plus 75. But don't forget, who do you have at the very end?
7.
The plus 7. So this becomes 3x squared minus 30x plus 82. Isn't this the same thing as that? Yeah. Boom. There it is. So in case you didn't have a calculator, you still are able to do it. But imagine having to do that for A, B, C, and D and figuring out which one it is. It does take a lot of work.
Can I do one of the problems for you?
Now, let's look at this one. You don't have to copy it down, but just read it before we actually have to do this, please. It says area. How do you find the area of a patio?
Length times width.
Very good. Now, it says it is no more than 600. Now, how do you do no more with which inequality symbol?
The less than or equal to.
Less than or equal to. Now, area, you said it was L times W. So there it is. Boom, boom. That's it. Less than what? 600. I forgot that 600, sorry. Then they're asking for the total length. That would be your perimeter of the, how many sides only?
3.
3. Now, we're using how many W's?
2.
2 W's and
And L.
1 L. Now, it also says no more than 70, so what do I need to use?
Less than or equal to.
So you're going to have multiple choice A, B, C, D. You need to know what you're looking for. Some of you, last time we did this problem, you messed up on the symbols. Yeah, we're doing greater thans or I don't know what the heck. Alrighty?
So that's going to be, that's going to be.
For this problem, you would have to do the little table of factors and sum. Oops. That's not supposed to be an 8. Sum. Now, you're looking for the factors of negative 63 and the sum of a negative 2. Now, what numbers off the top of your head give you 63?
9 and 7.
9 and 7, and that's what I'm thinking of also. You could put all the lists. Now, who would have to be your negative number here?
Both.
Both? No, because this is negative, so they have to be different signs.
Oh, sorry. The last one is going to be the biggest number.
The biggest number, because your middle number is negative, so it would be x plus 7 and x minus 9. That would be your factors, your answer for that problem. First, we need to set it equal to 0. Yes, ma'am. So it goes like this. This is what you plug into y equals. You're looking for solutions. Solutions, once again, mean what?
Go through at the 0. Wait, how did you? That no.
We just moved the 3 over, sweetie. That's it. Plug it into the y equals. You're looking for a solution. You're looking for x-intercepts. There is 2 right answers there. Now, they're going to give you a list, but from that list, they're only going to give you 1. When you look at the graphs, please look at it. Tell me which ones are your zeros.
-3/5. When we plug it in?
Yeah, plug it into the y equals, go to the graph.
-3/5 and 1.
Very good. It is -3/5 and 1 once you check the graph.
Oh. Sorry.
Solutions are 0.
Solutions are zeros, x and for this question, we're going to have to use the quadratic formula. Do you remember that one?
The equals 0.
So we have a equals, b equals, c equals. Alrighty, who's your a here?
1.
1. Who's your b?
6.
Who's your c?
-2.
-2. I forgot to put c. So
Wait,
the
can you write the formula?
the formula is -b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. All of that divided by 2 times a.
Is it the same thing that
We're
we
gonna
did in
get
the
that formula
beginning?
on the mid.
Yes, you will get the formula. Now, your b is 6, 6, a is 1, this is -2, and this is 1. So, a -6 is really what? A -6. Plus minus the square root, can you put that into the calculator for me?
Love how everybody freaked out firstly when you did it.
Yep. Alright, so that is the 44. Can you take the square root of 44? No, we cannot. But remember, 44 is the same thing as having 4 times 11, and that breaks into 2 times 2, right? So you have a pair of 2's.
So 2.
So it becomes 2 square root of 11. Very good. Plus minus 2 square root of 11 over 2. Now remember, can you divide these by 2? -6 divided by 2 is?
-3.
3. Plus or minus, these 2, what happens to them?
It just cancels.
So it's just the square root of 11. Your answer is going to look something like this the day of your test.
Why is it 11? Because you.
For this problem, the first parenthesis stays the same because is there anything in front of it? No. Now the next one, what does it have in front of the parentheses?
A negative.
So it changes everything inside. That positive 9x squared becomes a negative 9x squared. The negative times a negative 5 becomes a what? Positive 5xy. And then the negative times the negative 2y squared becomes a positive.
And then you just.
We're just combining. So this guy has an x squared, but so does the negative 9. So what does that become?
-4x squared.
-4x squared. The negative 2xy and a plus 5xy, that
Plus
becomes
3xy.
plus 3xy. And then a plus 9y squared and a plus 2y squared, 11y squared. And that's it. Pretty simple?
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah?
If that was a plus sign over there,
This? The one,
wherever the negative was.
that one?
Yes, if that was a plus sign, would everything still
Not,
change?
nothing changes.
Okay.
It stays the same.